Hello, my lovely friends, it's Margaret, and this is a reading vlog. Do y'all remember back in March when I did that video where my best friends and my brother picked out some books for my physical TBR for me to read? It is January 4th, and I have finally finished all of those books. All 8 of them. Took me 9 months. 9 months. That's a whole baby. Like, I could have a child by now for how long it has taken me to finish these books. Welcome to day 10 of the 12 days of Margaret. If you are new to my channel, it's kind of a wrapping up my year, get to know me thing. We're doing both in this video. So you're gonna see me over the whole course of the year. You're gonna see the COVID hair grow out. It should be interesting and fun. And then I'm gonna come back around to wrap up my final thoughts on all of these books.
All right, hello. Download that. All right, hello. So, it is finally time to start the vlog portion of the whole Best Friends Choose My TBR thing. We are starting, for reasons, with One for the Money by Janet Ivanovich. I'm not doing this in a particularly scientific order. I just happened to have the audiobook, and it expires in 3 days and 17 hours. So I need to read this ASAP. Also, it's part of my Owls TBR, and so if I can finish it by the end of April, that would be fantastic. I'm hoping I can finish it, I don't know, by the end of the day. How many hours of audiobook are on here? Well, it's an 8-hour audiobook, so that, listening to it at double time, 8.5 hours, it should take me 4 hours to finish this thing. Or maybe a little less, because I don't like to go at complete double time. So depending on the audiobook narrator, I'm going to download this bench, and we're not going to get started on it just like right now because I'm going to wait till I go jogging to start on this, but I wanted to start this part. Anyways, so that's where we're starting on this. I know this is one of Hannah's picks. I don't know about the rest of these books, but I know this particular book was one of Hannah's picks. So, anyways, it's about a woman who is a PI. That's everything I know about it. Her name is Stephanie Plum. And I'm going to go read a completely different book because we're doing something completely different today. Anyways, I'm reading a lot of books today, in theory. Hopefully I'm finishing some of them, in theory.
I would love to see someone watch all of my vlogs and piece together which which books I was working on simultaneously based purely on my outfits and what I'm wearing in each one, because I just basically sit down, I'm like, oh, I need to film for this vlog, and then I'm filming for like the other 4 vlogs I'm doing at the same time. No, I'm only doing 2, I think, at this point. I think I've got it down to 2. I have finished One for the Money. So I thought, I have mixed feelings about this. I gave it 3 stars. It was an okay book. Like, it was not my favorite book I've ever read, but it was fun to read. I enjoyed the main couple, which you know is the thing that's most important for me. I liked Stephanie as a protagonist. I thought that she added some interest to the story. I thought that she was real. She wasn't perfect. There were things I was like, girl, I don't agree with you. That's not a nice way to talk about people. But I also liked the fact that she was relatable. It was a character thing. And not necessarily something that I would have liked to see it challenged a little bit more, but at the same time, we're in her head. It's hard to do that. I liked Morelli as a love interest. He was a mess, and it was kind of funny. And I like the fact that they're working against each other for so much of this book, and then they're like, fine, we'll work together, and that made me happy. I like that setup. That said, I just have an issue with a lot of the racial stereotyping that was going on in this book. I mean, there was a lot of it. There was at least one downright place where I was like, oh, that's racist. And I know this was written in 1994, but like a lot of these tropes that are happening, people have been talking about them since before them. They've been in mainstream media since around that time. So I will say I don't think I'm going to be keeping this one. I might continue on with the rest of the series because I've heard it gets better in that department. But like I'm interested enough to like borrow it from the library, but not enough that I'm like, you know what, this needs to be on my shelf. But that's part of why I'm doing this challenge. I want to get rid of some of these books and see which ones I actually enjoy and want to keep, and then pass on the ones that I don't. I just realized the last time I updated you was almost 2 books ago, so it's time to talk to you about books. I finished Flame in the Mist, gave it 4 stars. Okay, so thoughts on this. I really enjoyed it. It didn't have me, like, gasping in my feelings the way that The Wrath and the Dawn did, but it still is a really good, solid story. I like the romance that happens in this book. It's kind of cute. It's not as intense, but it's a lot more slow burn. It's a lot more, not slow burn, but it's a lot more subtle. It's a lot less, the focus of the book. The focus of this book is more about Mariko and her growth as a person. It's about her developing. It's about her finding who she is, and where she belongs and all of that. So it's less about this epic romance that we've been told and more about the character growth that is happening within the main characters. I love the whole plot line that she had with her brother. There's a plot line where her twin brother is following her. I like the fact that we get to, it's not just her perspective that we're seeing, because we're seeing so much of what's happening in this country that she's a part of. So I really enjoyed it. I think it's very good. I understand maybe why some people would be disappointed, but I did really like it. And I think if you don't like The Wrath and the Dawn, this is still something that maybe you should pick up, because it's very different, I felt, from how The Wrath and the Dawn. Granted, I haven't read The Wrath and the Dawn in a while, but it is a little bit different. And then I picked up The Tiger at Midnight. As you can see, I'm mostly done with this by this point. I kept meaning, I'm working on a new job, and so I kept meaning to pick this, like, to sit down after I got off work when I still had, like, makeup and stuff on, and to talk to you guys about this book. You can see how that turned out. I am enjoying it. This is another one where I can see why people maybe don't necessarily like it, but I am enjoying it highly. I think people go into this expecting fantasy to be the main, like the fantasy thing to be the main, like the world and what's going on to be the main thing. And the real main thing about this book is the slow burn, back and forth relationship between the 2 main characters. That's what the main focus of the book is. It's about these 2 people who, one of them is chasing the other, trying to capture the other person, and the back and forth that happens every time they interact. It's about facilitating those moments. That's the focus of the book. It's not necessarily about the giant, grand scheme of things that's happening behind. I mean, that is there, but it's not the main focus. I'm really, like, enjoying it, though, because these are both really interesting, because they both deal with empire and power, and how the way, like, your point of view can be very skewed from what reality is actually from what reality actually is. It deals with 2, both of these books deal with 2 main characters that are very sheltered. They've been taught a certain way of life, and then they end up having that way of life shattered around them as they have to go out and see that, like, a lot of what they've been told is propaganda. I'm enjoying it. I love it. I'm so glad I have this book. They are hilarious. There's a lot of just these 2 characters. So you don't see a lot of other characters. So if it's one that you need a large cast, this isn't your book. But I am having so much fun with it. And watching them try to one-up each other, because there's so much one-upmanship trying to go, because she's a famous assassin and he's one of the, like, most skilled soldiers at his fort, and so they're just trying to one-up each other as they go. Like, he'll capture her and she'll be like, I gotta escape now, and she'll escape, and it is just it's so much fun. Of course, we've actually gotten past that point where they're actually working together now. So there's that. But we still, I'm about to sit down and, like, I need to reorganize my bookshelves a little bit, because we finished some books, and that means that shelves that were, for sure, like, books that I own, and not just library books, but I have to go and take care of all of that, because I need to do a bookshelf tour, because I promised people a bookshelf tour. Anyways, so I am highly enjoying this book. I'm very glad that I finally got around to reading it, and I'm so excited for book 2. Oh, this book is probably going to end in a way that I don't like, isn't it? Okay, we're recording this time. Fantastic. I have finished The Tiger at Midnight by Swati Tirhala. I liked it. I give it 4 stars. I realized I didn't give you guys any idea what it was about. that's better. Oh God, this is going to be so miserable. I'm also in the process, like, I'm ready for the next book. The next book sounds really good. Anyways, so I realized I didn't tell you guys what this was about, and it's about Esha, who is an assassin, and she's sent to assassinate a general, and then she gets there, and he's already dead, and someone is obviously trying to frame her. Well, he's not dead, he's dying, and there's nothing she can do about it. But he's obviously trying to frame her, and so then Kunal is the nephew of said general, and he's part of a task force that is sent to find her and bring her back, because they know they don't know who she is, but they know about the moniker that she goes by. She goes by the moniker the Viper. And so he's trying to figure out, trying to track down the Viper. So the whole book is him trying to track her down and bring her back because that's his job. I love it. It's so good. It's about two different warring kingdoms. One that has been, basically the kingdom has been usurped by this guy that wasn't happy that his sister was on the throne, I think is what it was, but like it's supposed to be a queendom, and there's this bond and magic that's happening with the land, and it's broken because this guy has killed off the entire royal family, and there's no one with this royal blood that can do the magic that they have to do every year or every few years to renew the bond. It was really interesting and intricate, and I had a lot of fun. I understand a lot of people are going to think it's slow, but it's really more about the relationship between Kunal and Esha and their growth and development as characters than it is about what's going on around them and a lot of plot things happening. Because it's just basically them trying to catch you over, well, him trying to catch her over and over again and her escaping. So there's that. I am moving on to Shatter the Sky by Rebecca Kim Wells. This involves dragons and a girl trying to rescue her girlfriend, from what I understand. And then there's a rebel prince, and there are dragon riders. She has to learn to be a dragon rider so that she can go and protect the people that she needs to protect, or rescue the people that she needs to rescue, I guess, actually is what's happening. And then she runs into this prince. And so now I'm like, okay, this sounds interesting. I believe this one is one that Rachel picked out. So, what is stuck to my cover? Stop that. Anyways, I'm about to do my makeup so that I can do my TBR and do the Vaultathon. Not recommendations, the Vaultathon announcement for round 4. So I'm gonna listen to this while I do my makeup. Hello, it's July. This has taken way longer than I thought it was going to take because, I don't know, I'm terrible at everything, but I am reading Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This might be the winner of the bunch. So, anyways, Rachel is the one that picked it, and I really liked it. Did I give you a final update on Shatter the Sky? Hold on. So in case I didn't give y'all a final update on Shatter the Sky, I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I was not happy with the ending. It was a very rude ending, and so I'm just not happy about it. But I do think it is a really fun, interesting fantasy. I know I have my ship, and a lot of people are probably going to be like, no, that's the wrong ship, but I have my my ship, because that's who we spend the most time with, and so that's me. But like, I don't know. We'll have to see how things go with Kaya in the next book, because I think I definitely want to read the next book. I have suspicions about what's actually going to happen when it comes to ships in this series. I have suspicions. I know people haven't liked it, and I just kind of disagree with all of the reasons that people haven't liked it, so. Anyways, I am, as usual, about almost finished with this particular book, Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and I am absolutely adoring it. These two know how to write humor that makes me so it gets me on a deep, like, molecular level. Do you understand what I'm saying? The humor is spot on and makes me laugh every time. I think all of these characters are fantastic. Tyler and Cal maybe need to loosen up a little bit. Tyler kind of has a stick up his butt, and he maybe needs to remove it. But I still love them. I don't know that I have a favorite character in here yet, because my favorite character is usually one of the characters in my favorite ship, and I don't have a favorite ship in this series yet. It's a very odd feeling, not series, but this book, where like, I'm as far out as I am, and I'm not sitting there going, yes, this is the ship that I will go to war for. I need that feeling, that intense, like, attraction to an idea of love. I need that. To truly be into a book, and it's not there yet. Like, there's some ship stuff maybe possibly going on, but they haven't committed to anything yet. Like, there's not enough angst. There's a little bit of angst, but it's one-sided angst, and then, well, actually, there's 2 different cases of one-sided angst, and then the other 2 people are completely oblivious and stupid, and one of them is stupid because he's a boy, and the other one is stupid because, well, just because. I would be stupid, too, if I was this character, because, my whole life has been turned upside down, and I'm processing a lot right now, okay, guys? Thanks. That would be me if I was her. But anyways, I do have questions about some of the representation, just because I know that at least Jay Kristoff has had his problems with writing people of color in the past. So I don't know what the consensus on this one is. I know that with his Nevernight Chronicles there were some issues. But I don't plan on reading that series ever. Anyways, so I like it. I think it is a fantastic science fiction. They're doing a great job of interspersing the points of view with these great things from her kind of basically talking computer Magellan that she's given, and they're like these great like little illustrations and things. I haven't actually looked at any of these, but like they'll talk to you about stuff, and it's really funny and snarky, and I am enjoying it. So there is that. Hopefully I'll finish that soon, and I'll get to the other 2 books. I love that the only 2 left are the ones I'm like least excited for. Sorry, Jewel. Anyways, hello everybody. I'm here coming at you because we need to talk about this book. Holy crap. The ending of this... I'm thinking about the ending of this book, and I just, I'm still evaluating my friendship with people who would think it was a good idea for me to read this book. However, it wasn't my ship, so I don't actually really truly care. But I don't know that I have a ship in this series yet. I will say that the romance just barely got started at the end, and that was a little frustrating for me. But at the same time, I didn't start noticing it until I was about halfway through. So that's good writing. If I don't notice that I'm not feeling the angst and the pining and that stuff, if I'm not noticing that there's not a lot of that, until halfway through your book, you're doing a good job. I'm just saying. I've had books where I've started and I'm like, okay, where is the kissing though? That wasn't me with this book. However, that ending, and the ending of the second book is supposedly worse, according to the person who gave me this book. I think y'all know it's Brianna at Coffee Books and Bullet Journals. Anyways, Brianna owes me a happy book now. That's what needs to happen here. Okay, so talking about this though, I loved it. I loved the science fiction concept. This is one that I would love to reread, and actually, like, if I had known that it had stuff like this, not like that, but it has actually, there we go, graphics. Not that that really means anything, but it has graphics, so I would love to reread this at some point. So we're going to take some time, though, before we get to book 2, because I hear book 2's ending is sad. And this book ending was sad. And so if she thinks that this book ending was, or Brianna thinks that this book ending was not as sad as the next, it's going to wreck me. So I'm going to wait till we get closer to when book 3 comes out. But this gets to go on my sci-fi shelf. I'm keeping it. I'm not getting rid of it. I don't know what I'd like. Part of me wants to give this 5 stars, but at the same time, I wasn't in my feels about the romances, really, until the very end, and I wasn't even, there are 2 romances right now, and one of them was highly annoying me from the guy's perspective, just because I can tell you which one of the authors wrote that perspective, because a woman never would have written that, some of that, and I was just like, anyways. We're gonna go put this on the shelf where it belongs. And let's see, what do we have left for this project? Y'all, I'm so close to the end of this. I only have Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and Girl with a Pearl Earring and a $1.49 thing on her face to go through. It's such a short book too. It's like 230 pages. I might just slap this out over a weekend or something, although I'm trying to write about this one, so. And then this one's also very short. It's like 200 and something pages. It will be quick to read. I don't know which one I'm doing first. I'll probably let you know after I've already finished it. because that's how this vlog's been going.
Alright, so we're multitasking because I need to talk to y'all about this book, finally. I'm on my last 2 books for this stupid vlog. But I need to talk to you about this book, but I also need to do my bullet journal for tomorrow, so we're gonna do both of them at the same time, sort of, I guess. We're gonna attempt. So I'm gonna be looking down here and talking about my thoughts on this book. I do not, it's funny, I am, let's see, I'm 140 pages through here, which means I'm actually pretty close to the end, hence why we're talking about it now. It is interesting. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it more than I thought I would. It is not, at least so far, it has not gone where I thought it was going to go, or where I was concerned that it was going to go. It's definitely obvious that she has a crush on Vermeer, which apparently I have been pronouncing Vermeer wrong my entire life. I don't know that I'm going to change. I like her writing style. I like the voice of this novel. I think Crete is a very compelling main character. I think that, like, it's not a fast-moving novel. It's not a really plot-heavy novel. It's mostly about this character. And I think that she is interesting. I think that she is someone that I am enjoying reading about. We're for sure going to start the beat sheet this time. And so I'm glad that I actually picked it up. Like, this, depending on how this ends, this could be one that I actually end up keeping on my shelves, which I am surprised because I wasn't expecting that when I got it. I just was gonna read it because I can. Or because I got it for $1.49 at the thrift store, you know? I think that the author did a great job. I think that, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's sad. I think I see where some of it is going. It's not got a lot of romance. So, I'm not sure if it's gonna make, like, more than 3 stars, because that typically is how things work when things don't got a lot of romance. But I'm, you know, not hating the book. So that is a mark in its favor in my book. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I don't have a lot of thoughts. I'm liking where it's going. I don't know how it's going to end well for this main character, or not well, but like in a, she's not exactly in a society where it is easy to be her class and be a strong, not as strong, but to be independent, which is kind of what I want for her right now. But I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think that's possible for her where she is, the place she is, the life she's living, you know, that kind of thing. So, I don't know. We are in the home stretch, y'all. The final book that I need to read, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I started it earlier today. I got pretty far. I got to like page 48. I hate Greg. Greg is just an awful child. Like, so just like terrible. I don't think I've ever met a child as terrible as Greg is in his thought life. I'm just like, wow, you don't like anyone. Like, no one is good enough for you right now. You are just a jerk. Like, I understand middle school is hard, but you're just a jerk. I'm hoping this changes because this, right now, he's just, why did I choose? I didn't choose this. BJ chose this. That's why. That's the whole point. Like, look at the back of this. Can you see it? Like, do you need any, nope, get my face out of the way. Do you need any other, like, examination of who this kid is than him saying that 2 of his classmates are morons just because he doesn't like them? So anyways, I'm gonna finish this. I do not want this to be the first book that I finished this year. You're actually sitting on top of the book that I would like to have been the first book that I finished this year, but that book is over 500 pages, and I need this done by tomorrow so we can wrap this up and get this vlog out of my life. So anyways, we're wrapping up tomorrow, because I'm going to be done with this book tomorrow, I hope. In theory. That's right. Okay, so I think the last that you saw me, I was at the beginning of this, wasn't really loving it, but I still had hope. I have zero hope for this novel any longer. Why is this a book? Guys, why is this a book? There was no
plot structure. It was just, this was the most thoroughly mediocre book I have ever read in my life. Like, there was no plot structure. The character was terrible. Learned nothing. It's just a whole bunch of little things that happen in his day. It's like slice of life, but with no overarching plot arc. So, like, I don't understand where the story was, why this was written. It's just this kid being awful and hating everyone and doing nothing good. Like, he does one good thing at the end of the novel, and that is it. This is just, yeet it. Like, just, it's, bye. It's gone. I do not usually feel like books have wasted my time. Very rarely happens. I can think of, like, just a handful of occasions. This has gotten me, so I have to use the other hand. Anyways, so, now that I have read all these books, it is time to talk about them and compare them and see how well my friends did picking out books I would like. So we'll go from oldest to youngest, because that is the only way to do it that is fair. So my friend Hannah picked out A Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh and One for the Money by Janet Ivanovich. I believe this got 4 stars. This got a, there we go. This got a weak 3 stars. I really liked this. I am going to be working on finishing this series because I do love Renee Ahdieh's writing. I knew I was going to enjoy this book because I like how she builds her worlds. I like how she builds her characters. I thought Mariko was a very compelling character. I liked the plot. I liked the elements of Mulan that she had taken and put in this story, but I also appreciated the fact that she wasn't really following the Mulan storyline. It's much, much deeper than that. There's more going on. She just kind of took that whole, like, concealing who you are, passing as the other gender so that you are safe and can get what you need to get done. And that's what happens in here. There are some Easter eggs for Mulan if you are a fan of the Disney movies, so, like, definitely in there. I can't remember whether the phrase, let's get down to business, was in this book, but, like, if it wasn't, opportunity was missed. This one was not as impressive. While I did like the main character and I kind of liked the plot, like, I enjoyed the mystery part of the plot, it was not as well written. It was very, very dated. You could tell this was written in the 90s based on the stereotypes that the author used and some of the overtly racist language. Like, it's language that we would sit down and look at now and go, I mean, that might have been able to pass as okay in the 90s, but it's not. Not when you are more aware of some of the stereotypes that you see with the Latinx community. While I did enjoy it, while it had the romance I liked, while it had a good plot and a good main character, I don't know if I will continue on. I do hear that the author does get better and more aware of those things as she goes, but at the same time, there are so many other books that I want to read that don't necessarily have those things in them. And then after that, Rachel picked Shire of the Sky by Rebecca Kim Wells and Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I enjoyed both of these books. I gave this 4 stars and this 3 stars, like a real strong 3 stars. Hold on, where's my phone? I can find out. This is why you do notes before you film the video, so you don't have to look things up. Okay, so both of these got 4 stars. I don't know if I will ever read a solo Jay Kristoff book, but I do like the way that he and Amy Kaufman work together when they build these multi-point of view narratives. This has like 4 or 5 narratives, or not narratives, points of view in it, and I didn't feel lost for any of them. Definitely there were some that I was just like, can we go back? They were almost kissing, can we go back? I need some ships to ship, and I wasn't really feeling like any of them, especially since the ship that I was thinking was going to be my ship, I don't know, is it happening? I'm not sure, but I do like the world building. I do like the character. I'm waiting until the 3rd book is out before I continue on with this series, just because I see no reason to suffer like that if I don't need to. Like, I know I'm gonna suffer, so why put myself through that? So this was a little shorter. I do feel like maybe there was some room for some stuff because the ending is very abrupt. And I knew there was a sequel, but I wasn't expecting it to be that abrupt. I did really enjoy it. I like the journey that Kaya goes on and the fact that it's a lot about her self-discovery and her learning to be independent of her girlfriend, and now that her girlfriend has been kidnapped and she's having to, like, actually take action and do things with her life to get what she wants. I enjoyed that. There's so much mystery surrounding the dragons and what is going on, and I liked how that mystery and then the theme of like what's going on with these two different cultures and the fact that they're, you know, having to contend with the fact that their culture has been literally stolen from them. Like literally the dragons were their thing and this empire went and stole the dragons from them and is now raising them. And so I liked how they balanced, or all of that was balanced. Okay, so the Guinevere Deception, oh my gosh, this got 4 stars, this got 4 stars, this got 3 stars. I cannot wait for the next book in this series to get my hands on it, because I had so much fun trying to figure out what she was doing with the Arthurian legends in this, and what she was doing with Guinevere's thing, and I'm pretty sure I know who Guinevere is, but I'm not gonna say anything, because I won't say anything. I won't. But if you have read Arthurian legend, there's like only one person that Guinevere, that I'm thinking that this person who is pretending to be Guinevere could be. That's in the blurb. Everyone already knows that. So anyways, I just enjoyed it. I liked the kind of camaraderie that built up between Guinevere and Arthur. I liked what they did with Lancelot. I was not expecting that. I'm not sure how I feel about where I think that's gonna go, because my favorite part of the Arthurian legend is at the end when Guinevere and Arthur make up. I've been a huge Guinevere and Arthur shipper since I was a kid, because I'm me. So like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that, because clearly Arthur is too clueless to realize that he's got a good thing going on right now. So there's definitely some room for other romance for this main character, but also I wasn't sure, like, there's a love quadrangle, I think, going on. I'm not entirely sure. It was not entirely clear. There was a lot going on, and I don't think the main character really knows either. The next one that I read was Girl with the Pearl Earring. This was pretty decent. I liked it. I enjoyed parts of it. It left me sad, though, because, like, the main character really had no good choices, and I just... because it's historical fiction, I can't be mad about how it ended and the fact that it ended realistically, and that's exactly probably what would have happened, or if not worse, to her. And I just, yeah, I just wish we had had a little more hope for our main character at the end. I did think that it wrapped up very well, and it, like, that last chapter really kind of brought her story to a close, but I just would have chosen differently if I had been writing this book. Finally, we get to the books that my brother picked out. He picked out The Tiger at Midnight by Swati Tirhala and The Diary of a Whippy Kid by Jeff Kinney. I'm not gonna make you sit through me rant about this book anymore, so we're just gonna, that got 2 stars. I am debating giving it 1 star just because I'm so mad, but I don't really see any value in that book. But it's not like if it had an actual plot structure, and we had actually learned some things in this book, I would have been like, oh, okay, this makes sense. But it was just a whole bunch of stupidity and this kid being awful. And I was just like, nah. Anyways, Tiger at Midnight was definitely the winner here. I, again, loved it because of the romance. I love the fact that we have this back and forth cat and mouse chase that is going on throughout the entirety of this novel. That is most of what it is. I thought the world building was rich. I like what she is setting up for the next book, so I can't wait. This is on one of my, like, the 2 of these are on my series I want to finish in 2021 because I enjoyed them so much. You might have been able to guess what my favorite book on this list was, but we're going to rank these books. That's what we're gonna do. This is very difficult, and I'm doing it on the spot. So at the bottom of the list, because I got no enjoyment or worth or anything out of it, I'm gonna have to put Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Just like this is ranked the lowest. Goodbye. Get out of my life. And then we have to go with One for the Money, because just like it was good, I enjoyed it, but also after that, I think we would go with Girl with the Pearl Earring, slightly above the bad books. I enjoyed it. There wasn't anything that was like a huge red flag that made me go, why did we write that? Because everything that was like, was historically accurate and what actually would have happened to this character. Now we get into the difficult part, because ranking these guys was easy. I think next on that list is going to be Shadow the Sky. It just didn't quite have enough of the story for me. I would have liked a little more fleshing out, a little bit more time in this world and with these characters. I enjoyed the fast pace, but it did leave me kind of hungry for more, and not all in a good way. After that, I think we're going to say Aurora Rising, mostly because the ending pissed me off, because they were setting it up for one of my favorite tropes. And that trope could still happen. But, yeah. Also, there was a narrator in here that I was just like, what? You're so stiff and boring, sir. Why? Flame in the Mist comes next because I enjoyed it. It was so much fun. I really liked it. It was a very good audiobook, by the way. After that, we're going to give it The Tiger at Midnight by Sati Tirhala. That gets the second place spot. And then my favorite book from this vlog, the favorite thing that I walked away with, is The Guinevere Deception, because this was just right up my alley and everything that I wanted it to be. Well, not everything. I would have liked a little more making out between Arthur and Guinevere, especially since they're married and so they can do whatever the heck they want. I'm a very simple person. I like the romance. I want the romance. That's basically like everything I need in a book, with maybe a little bit of plot, some character, but mostly two people falling in love. I'm never going to hear the end of this because I picked Jules' book as my favorite. So that's it. If you're feeling chatty, let me know in the comments if your best friends picked your TBR. How well do they think you did? I think we're doing pretty well because I got 5 books that I really liked out of 8 that I read. That's like 2/3 almost. That's almost, nope, that's almost 3/4. That is almost 3/4. I got 5/8 of a good list. Most of these made it back onto my shelf and are not getting unhauled. If you are not feeling chatty, just leave me an emoji. Let's see. Leave me a crown emoji since, you know, the Guinevere Deception. Go ahead and do that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, I will have other videos over here. If you are interested in my channel, I will have whatever was yesterday in the 12 Days of Margaret up here, and then something else. It'll surprise both of us. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!